So last night, me and my wife went out for a beautiful evening at Art Vancouver. And that's not what this story is all about. So it all started 19 years ago. Well, almost 19 years ago when I met her for the first time. So it was 1998, December. And I'm going to move ahead to 9 years ago when she actually came back into my life with my son. And this was a very sort of emotional state because I hadn't seen him for both of them for nearly 5 years. And when they came, this was sort of not the right setting, emotional state. I wasn't even in an emotional state to really accept what was about to come. You know, it's funny because I'd never had Facebook, I never had any sort of communication with anybody except for one thing that was inside a bottle. If you know what that means, I don't need to explain it too much. So when they arrived, it's actually 2 days would be the anniversary for 9 years, is when they arrived, May 28th, 2008. And when they arrived, I was happy that they were coming. But when I looked at their faces when they arrived, of course it was quite emotional. We were all crying. My son was so happy to see me. Well, she wasn't. It felt like that. I was happy to see her, but she wasn't happy to see me. And of course my son at that time didn't speak any English. He spoke only Japanese. So for that time it was very, you know what, learning English for him, learning Japanese for me. So there's a state of mind when that happens to you, when you've been disconnected with a person for years, especially a person that you were married to. And I'm saying were married to, because we were married, then got divorced. I've told this story a few times, but this is an anniversary that really is special. Because over the last 9 years, we've learned to love one another and love ourselves. And I think the most important thing is love ourselves. Truly love ourselves. Because back 19 years ago, no, we didn't love each other in the sense of love. We loved the state of what it was in passion, but it wasn't actual love for ourselves. And this didn't really start growing to where it is now until 5 years ago. So imagine, so 9 years, so there was 4 years in between all that time, from 2008 until 2012, that there was no love. You know what? When you really truly love somebody, you will do everything possible to make yourself happy. And if you get that thought, then fantastic. And I think everybody does. At that time, I did not know. I didn't know anything. All I cared about was the inside of a bottle and the end of that marijuana joint and that pack of cigarettes. To this day, of course, I don't drink, I don't smoke marijuana, I don't smoke tobacco, and that was by choice. And that choice was being with her or being apart. That was a choice that she gave me. That was my choice. It was up to me. She didn't tell me that I had to stop any of this, of my habits. She just gave me a choice. If you want to live with a happy life, it's up to you. It's your choice. Because it all comes down to choices that we make in life. And that was my choice. Because when you really actually start forcing or controlling people to do what you want them to do, it doesn't work. You tell somebody, oh, you have to stop, otherwise I'm leaving you. It doesn't work. It didn't work for us because she did that and I did that. It didn't work. We weren't happy because we were controlling each other. And then we started to control our own child. But we're talking about relationships. To truly love one another is to love yourself. And whatever that means to you, whatever that resonates with you. So look in the mirror, like I have many times. I've looked in the mirror for years to find who I was and who I am. And to heal myself, to heal each other. Because to love somebody is to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, how do you expect anybody else to love you? So on this anniversary, I appreciate my life, my family's life, and all the people that are around me. Because I truly understand what toxic life can be all about. Because when you live in that sort of bubble of pain, it spreads like an influenza, like a poison amongst your family, your friends, and the people around you. I'm just thinking because it actually makes me so emotional thinking about it, because it is quite an emotional point within me. Because if I don't have my happiness, I don't have love in my life. So last night, going to the Art Vancouver show gala and sort of looking around, and we're all dressed up. This is where my life is now. And moving forward, what is life going to be 20 years from now? Looking over at my wife and saying, wow, there's more to learn. Every day. Even 20 years from now, there's more to learn about each other. Communicating, talking, because that's what we do. We communicate with each other. Every moment that we're together. Communication for us is the most important. Communication is love. Yes, holding hands, kissing, whatever it may be, is fantastic. But, and I'm going to say but, communication is the most important thing in life. Because if you don't have communication, how does love flourish into whatever it may be? Flowers. I'm just making those as metaphors. You know how a flower blooms, right? So everybody have a fantastic weekend. Create your happiness within your relationships in your life. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.